I think the best thing that we can do is meet the student where they are and tailor our advice to the specific needs of the student, or at the very least, provide multiple pathways to their ultimate goals. So it might be, here's what pathway one looks like, this timing, this cost. Here's what pathway two looks like. So I think particularly with health professions, there are so many different opportunities and varieties of fields that folks just don't know about, that sometimes it's just opening their minds and exploring the opportunities.
Yeah, I would say that's one of my favorite challenges, is working with students that feel like they can't do it, or maybe someone told them that. I remember early on as an advisor, I had people tell me, "Oh, I was told by such and such advisor that I can't be a doctor," and that is not our role. Our role is not to tell anybody what they can or cannot do. Our role is to help, maybe possibly guide them to what they'd like to do, or open the door, like Misty was saying. There's other health professions out there. I would say a lot of students in their first year are thinking medical school, and a lot of times it could be for lack of not knowing other health professions that they could look at. And so we try to expose them to all of the health professions and bring in, different people in careers, and our alums specifically, to talk about that. And then look at, okay, maybe your GPA is not where you want it to be, or the MCAT score wasn't what you want to be. There's options. There's post-bac programs. There's master's programs. There's all kinds of ways. Maybe it's a little more challenging for them because they started out poorly, and yes, they have to increase that GPA. Doesn't mean it can't be done. It's all about their drive and their ambition to wanting to do it. And again, back to that academic coaching where they're the driver and we're just helping guide their way. It really is fun to watch that. That's probably my favorite thing, is to watch them look at that challenge and go, maybe I should do this. And a lot of times it's, I wanted to be a doctor since I was 5. And now I just don't really have the ability, or I don't think I really want to go to medical school for 4 years. And well, what about being a PA or a nurse practitioner? And once they start thinking about that and maturing and that brain's developing, it's like, oh, that I'd have a better life balance for me personally. I should follow that. So it's really fun to watch that path with students.
I would definitely echo what Misty and Jane have mentioned in regards to not having a one, prescription for every student. I think that you really have to talk to your students. They're not just numbers, but they have personal, academic, and career related short and long-term goals. And to hear about their full story, I think that that is what's helped me the most, engaging how to best assist. In my mind, and we've put it on paper, all of the different Venn diagrams that for this profession, if your GPA is this versus that, then we move in this direction. If your score on your test is this versus that, then we move in this direction. But I also, try to use evidence-based practice around what happens for Spelman students. So even the culture and the outcomes for students at your institution will matter. And so we spend a lot of time understanding where have our students landed, what were the average GPAs of those students based on what career they ended up going into or what grad program they attended. And it gave us a way of even using that information to advise our students by saying, most students interested in this profession, this is where, this was their average GPA. It doesn't mean that this won't happen for you, but let's talk a little bit about that based on the profile of Spelman students and Spelman alumni. And then for them, it becomes a little bit more tangible because they know that these are individuals who've sat in their very seats and that they have been able to still accomplish said goals. And I agree. I'm sure among the three of us, we have so many different stories of resilience and triumph. And I too can think of young women who since I'm at an all women's college, that have perhaps had GPAs where one advisor may say, this is never going to happen. Medicine is never going to be an option. But in talking with them and helping them to be open, they were able to take advantage of partnership related opportunities or not, but the partnerships definitely have helped us, where a student went from a 1 year master's program that was paid for because we knew her financial background and understanding that she didn't have resources to pay for a master's degree program that then, because of who she was and how she had an excellent work ethic, was invited to stay on for a doctoral program. And all along the way was still taking the MCAT in order to see how she did. But because of her outcomes and having her doctorate degree and maintaining relationships, at the culmination or end of her doctoral program, was able to gain acceptance into Virginia College of Osteopathic Medicine, the South Carolina campus, and is now an attending physician up in Delaware. And it has just been it's just been beautiful to be part of that journey with her. I have countless stories, but I agree. You have to understand your population that you're working with and to make sure that they understand how it's so important to be open